You see, as we have seen, that having an idea, planning, or creating a strategy to achieve what we want has never been a problem. The problem has always been with implementing it. And that is where the failure occurs. As we have discussed, Kim and Rene, having gone through over 150 theories, concepts, and case studies related to them, stretching over 30 different industry segments, and studying and researching concepts and theories for over 100 years old, they created this blue ocean strategy. The beauty of the blue ocean strategy is that it has taken the deeper insights from all these strategies which they researched, brought them all together, and created a strategy which will help you not create disruption in the marketplace, but move into an entirely new marketplace which is unserviced. And in the process, there is market creation, not market competition. It was during the course of this creation that they found that there are four different types of hurdles which people, individuals, teams, and companies face. They are cognitive hurdles, resource hurdles, motivational hurdles, and cognitive hurdles, political hurdles. They researched further and found out how to overcome these hurdles and how to embed those strategies directly into the blue ocean strategy so that you do not have to move away from your strategy framework to implement it. We are starting with the first hurdle, that is the cognitive hurdle today. From this class, what I'm going to do is, you see, we have been discussing all along blue ocean strategy, this the strategic sequence, the strategic canvas, the 6 paths to creating uncontested market space. I have been giving you insights. I have been telling you and discussing with you about these. But I realized one thing, that you will need to study more on these, because a mentor's job is only to plow the mind like a farmer does the ground and then sow the seeds. It has to be cultivated. For that, it requires air, sun, and water. That has to come from your side after the class is over. But for that, you require information of where all these things have come from. So in this class onwards, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you the source, the root source from where Kim and Rene got all these. Are you understanding what I'm telling? I told you that Blue Ocean strategy has been created from that research, right? That means, what is the source of that research? What is the theory or concept based on which those individual points and actions were planned by them? And I am also going to go one step forward and show you through research where this has been used, who has used it, and how it has been used. So the class might be a bit longer than what it usually is, because once we have discussed the entire thing, the cognitive hurdle, what it is, how to overcome it, what has to be done, what are the common mistakes people do in addressing cognitive hurdles, then we will go into where exactly these ideas were taken by Kim and Rene. How did they realize that this is happening? And the second thing is, who all have done it? Like when we say leadership by example, let me give a simple example. People keep saying leadership by example. Now, what is an example of leadership by example? Can anyone tell me? What do we mean when we say leadership by example? Yes, Goswami sir.
Leader doing the job or the process to demonstrate to the team that how this is how it is done.
That is a translation of the phrase leadership by example. You have
A
expanded.
lead from the front.
Give me an example. Did Field Marshal Manik Shah go into the battlefield?
Planning.
Yes, going to the battlefield. No.
No. No.
Then where does the leadership by example come? How do you signal this leadership by example? Simple example. When Tata Nano was launched, Ratan Tata arrived at the venue of launch in a Tata Nano. You are the first man to drive a Tata Nano.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So you see, you see, these are some of the, like this, examples have been researched to show that it does not mean that Field Marshal Manekshaw not going to the field, the battleground or to the front is not leadership by example. At that level, maybe something else would be appropriate as an example. But, there is this phrase. How many of you have heard of the phrase for reductio ad absurdum? I asked Mr. Yogesh Jain a couple of days back, and he gave a beautiful response to it. Yes, Anil. A reductio ad absurdum.
What is that you have asked, sir?
What is the meaning of the phrase reductio ad absurdum? You see, there are various techniques to drive a message into the mind of an individual. The mind of an individual is a highly conditioned environment. And we have here people, if you see the average age of the people here, it must be something like around 55, nothing less than that. That means 55 years of conditioning you have gone through before you have come to attend this class. So if I have to drive through that barrier and enter, then I have to create strategies, communication strategies, which will penetrate it. Reductio ad absurdum is a very powerful communication strategy where you reduce the concept to the level of absurdity. Like my example, saying that, did Field Marshal Manekshaw go to the front? Any person in this world would know that is not his job. That is not the part of his job requirement. But the leadership by example, he's telling people to go to the front. If I say he should go first, then I am not wrong, but I am wrong. I'm colossally wrong. But in being wrong, I have reduced the concept to its absurd level of simplicity, and now you will remember it always. So you see, similarly, there are various things that we will be using. I will be explaining to you why I am using those strategies of, communicating, because the purpose of the communication is you should retain it. And when we enter into areas of cognition, motivation, and agendas, these things become very important. You will see as we move forward how it is so. So let's begin. I always say that when we talk about obstacles, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that we are kept from our goal not by obstacles, but by a clearer path to a lesser goal. When we find a much easily achievable goal in front of us, we are enamored to work on it from the limits of our comfort zone, and in the process, we lose out on everything that is possible in this world. Let's not do that, friends. Let's move out of our comfort zone and address whatever we can achieve. Today's class starts with a case study. Bright Mart, a mid-sized retail chain in India, has been profitable for years, selling household goods in physical stores. Please take a screenshot of this. But over the last 5 years, online competitors have steadily eaten away at their market share. In the boardroom, the CEO presented a new digital-first strategy. He said, we will launch our e-commerce platform in 6 months and leverage data analytics to personalize customer offers. The leadership team nodded, but the frontline managers exchanged skeptical looks. One store manager whispered, our customers like to touch and feel products. Online is a fad among young people. Our stores will always survive. At the same time, operations head argued, our supply chain is already efficient. We've been doing this for 20 years. He dismissed customer complaints about delivery delays as isolated incidents. When training session on digital tools began, many employees treated them as box ticking exercise. They didn't see how dashboards connected to their daily routines. Some quietly said, this is a corporate jargon. It won't change my sales targets. Meanwhile, the HR team ran a campaign using technical presentation filled with jargons, leveraging machine learning for demand forecasting. Store staff tuned out. One supervisor, frustrated, confided to a colleague, management keeps talking about the future, but nothing changes in my store. They don't walk the talk. Why should I care? In another instance, when a young manager suggested experimenting with online campaigns, the click and collect senior leader rejected it. We don't do half-baked pilots. Either go big or don't bother. 6 months later, the e-commerce site launched, but few employees promoted it. Customers remained unaware, and Brightmart continued losing market share. This is the case study. What you have to do is identify the different types of cognitive hurdles which are present here and create a strategy by which you can overcome it. What should you do to overcome it? Because you see, each and every one of these are very much present in whatever you are doing. Now, since there are only 14 people, I'm not going to break it into multiple rooms. I will request everyone, if possible, Habib and Venkatesh and Thomas, to unmute your videos. We will work on this problem here, discuss what are the cognitive hurdles present. I want you to discuss so that you will also have a recording of it with you. Otherwise, the recording will not be there. If you go to the breakout room, the recording for that area will not be there. You can discuss it here and decide upon a strategy. Let's take 15 minutes so that there won't be too much of time loss, because the session is going to be a bit long. I don't want you to drag very late into the night, because Habib is from Singapore. It's already more than midnight there. Okay, and you all will be reaching midnight very soon. Yes, you can start.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Karpusamy, what is it you want?
Sir, I feel that there are different age people here, sir. Probably, as you said, the strategy for these people will be different, actually.
Doesn't matter, you discuss.
Okay.
What
Okay.
you
Yeah.
are-
Okay.
In the breakout room also, there will be six people.
Yes.
Here there are 14.
14.
So between you discuss what are the various cognitive hurdles that you see in this case study. How will you go about solving it?
The corruption one is a mindset, maybe some employees are not resistance. Resistance is one hurdles I'm able to see. Employee resistance to change management. That means when they're planning to the digital this one, no, some people are reluctant how it will work. It won't
Okay,
work
Mr.
for
Thomas,
our
no issue.
company.
Now, what I'm suggesting is the best way to handle a discussion is identify two people. One who will moderate the discussion and give everyone an opportunity to voice their opinion. Second, one who will note down everything. The person who will note down will make the presentation at the end of the discussion. Identify two people and then start the discussion.
Sir, you have become mute.
Yes, Jayesh, boliye. Identify two people.
Audio is clear for me. Venkatesh is telling.
Venkatesh, check your audio, because here everyone else's it's clear.
We are okay, sir. Very nice.
Now it is okay. Earlier, even for me, it was broken. But it is
Okay.
clear now.
Start the discussion. 15 minutes.
Yes. So first cognitive hurdle is from the frontline managers.
Now, first
us
to
know.
identify the two people, sir told, sir, who will
Moderators
moderate and note.
and Mr. Yogesh Jain, as usual, will take the whatever we say. Yes, sir?
Presentation. Is there Yogesh sir? Is there? Is there Yogesh
Yeah,
sir?
Yogesh, sir. You'll just note down what we discuss. Is it okay, sir? Yogesh ji? Okay.
Is muted.
Yes,
Yogesh
sir.
ji.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Okay. So who will be the moderator? So you yourself be the moderator in such a case.
You're talking to whom, sir?
I'm talking to you, sir. I think so. You
No, you
can be the
take lead.
moderator. No. You just take it out, sir. No problem. Because okay.
Video lo unno.
So first point is, as said, there are young generation and old generation are working together. Senior and junior staffs are there. So their strategy of thinking will be different by general. Isn't it, sir?
Yeah, first hurdle you are telling. First you have to identify the hurdles, no?
This is the first hurdle. I feel that age gap is there. Senior
So
is
my submission is we have to identify the cognitive hurdles. Cognitive hurdle meaning
Yeah.
hurdle in understanding the project as a whole, or
yes, sir.
because if the understanding is not right, the support will not be right. So
Okay.
as per sequentially mentioned in the case study, the first very sentence that mentions as a cognitive hurdle is from the frontline managers. Okay, the frontline managers extend just skeptical look. So that is not exactly a hurdle. But one store manager whispered, the customers like to touch and feel. Okay, and that is why they will be having resistance. They are not able to understand the advantage of the online digital store.
Yeah.
Should we consider that as a cognitive hurdle, Yogesh ji? And I'm asking everybody here.
Sir, it is
There was common
interpretation.
mistake in addressing cognitive hurdle, and those mistakes were relying too heavily on data and reports, top-down mandate without involvement, over communicating success instead of reality, underestimating informal influence, for failing to acknowledge emotional
You
impact,
can share, sir,
making
slide.
change.
Something you written, it seems. You can share, sir. Yogesh, sir.
I'm
You can
not,
add
I'm,
up.
I'm reading from
Writing.
the slide
Okay.
that Arun sir
Okay.
gave in common mistakes in addressing cognitive hurdle.
Right.
Okay.
So from there, I'm reading
Okay.
these something like 10 common mistakes, relying too heavily on data and reports, top-down mandate without involvement. So here the CEO says within 6 months, we will up our e-commerce website. Over communicating success instead of reality. So reality is that they are into brick and mortar and they are over communicating the success that they will be transformed within 6 months.
Yes.
Underestimating informal influencers. They need to understand who are the informal influencer. From the passage, it doesn't look like who are them.
Correct.
Failing to acknowledge emotional impact, that is definitely lacking because emotional impact is just not there. Making change sound optional or vague. Then punishing instead of educating. This level we did not reach. Assuming one size fits all messaging, ignoring small win, changing everything at once. So they are trying to change everything at once. They are not doing step-by-step approach. One person told them that they should go for small activity of clicks and
pilot
this
project.
thing,
Correct.
pilot projects, but senior leadership strike that down. So out of these common mistake, I feel few are possible to really directly understand and go about.
Yes. So Arun sir had suggested we identify the hurdles and then find a solution. So if you have noted down the point, let us try to identify the solution for all the
Solutions,
problems that we have.
implementation. Each hurdle, what is the strategy to implement?
I think he has only conveyed about cognitive hurdle, or do we need to go into every hurdle?
No, sir.
Political and
Only
Cognitive hurdle. Only cognitive hurdle. You have Yogesh ji, you have listed out the cognitive hurdles as per your Arun sir sharing. Let us try to identify solution to those hurdles.
In this case study.
Yes.
In this CEO itself, he didn't elaborate clearly how to do, what to do, and who is going to do that like that. That's the main problem is there first is how they are going to launch the digital platform and all.
Yeah, leadership is what is the limited to the conference rooms, not in the floor, shop floor. That is the one that has to be changed to the corporate, what is the board meeting to the floor meetings, something like that. Implementation. That is
So
the one point.
first of all, we see that online competitors had steadily eaten away at their market share.
Correct.
So that's what they want to go to the e-commerce platform, right?
Yeah,
So
Yes.
but
this will
this
be a
is not communicated well with the
Yeah.
data, with the team. What
With
is
the
the
team.
change in the scenario or market and how this has affected them? So in the boardroom, the CEO presented a new digital first strategy. We will launch our e-commerce platform in 6 months and leverage data analytics to personalize customer offer is what he has stated or declared.
Correct.
The
Correct.
leadership team also nodded, but then they did not take the frontline managers and the young people into their confidence.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
Frontline managers and store managers, they did not take into confidence.
The
Right.
strategy plan is not converted to the operational plan. The strategy will be there, but operation plan is not effective.
Correct.
So
it not gone into the minds of the executing peoples. So who are
yeah,
in the
the
line of
communication is not touched the concerned people.
I would request somebody else write it because I will be flipping the slide. Allow me the
Okay.
sharing and somebody else write it because otherwise we will lose on time.
Okay.
Nagesh Kumar will do it, sir. Sir,
I would request Arun sir to allow me sharing.
Mhm.
Am I audible?
I did
Sir is
allow.
there.
Am I
Now it
audible?
has come. Now
Yeah,
it is
so
coming,
these
sir.
are the you are seeing this thing on the screen, I suppose,
yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
all of you.
Yes,
Cognitive mistake, common mistakes in addressing the cognitive
Yeah.
hurdles.
So we will have to find out from the case and address cognitive hurdles. So we will have to map them, I suppose. That is the best way to do, fastest way to understand.
so what needs to be noted down?
Now somebody has to create the notes for the presentation.
Okay, I will note it down. Please demonstrate.
So it looks like that there is a top-down mandate without involvement from the first two paragraph. Then there is a operation head argument that supply chain is already efficient and we have been doing this for 20 years. He dismissed the customer complaint about delivery delays as isolated incident.
So
So
this will
we are over communicating success or maybe failing to acknowledge emotional impact. No, I don't know.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now I am audible. Earlier there was some technical issue. Okay, thank you. Yes. Carry on. Very good. Very good.
So let us try to identify one by one which are the data which have been they are relying heavily on data and reports. Are there any?
There is no much of the data, sir. Only thing is their sales has gone by less in the past 5 years.
Yes. So that is one
Any-
of the data, and the other data mentioned is the delivery system where there are delays, but the store manager says it has been
Yes.
working for 20 years, and they are isolated incidents. There may be wrong data about that.
That comes into the second point, sir. Over communicating success
success.
instead of reality, because really they are
Okay.
not able to deliver properly. But the manager says it is very very rarely occurs,
Correct.
isn't it? Okay, sir.
Right. So
And
but if we were to talk about the real ideals, one of the thing was top-down mandates have been done without involvement. So first solution
Yes.
is they should have a full team meeting instead of only the top line managers.
Yes, yes, sir. Pilot
Then-
meeting should be arranged.
Yes.
and total buy-in should have been Thought.
Yes, correct.
We're talking like a kickoff meeting, project kickoff meeting, something.
Yes, sir.
Project
Yeah.
kickoff meeting with the whole team, all
Yes,
the
sir.
all the
Involving
team.
the
No,
key
even
stakeholders.
discussion of the digital strategy should have been done with buy-in of the people, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Yes.
So they should make some whiteboard exercise and prove that they
Yes.
come to the.
With a larger team involving
Yeah.
the bottom of the pyramid as well.
Yeah. Okay, that is first point. Second is over communicating success instead of.
Reality. There they might want to
Yeah.
look at the isolated delivery incidents that has been mentioned. Is it
So what-
isolated? That
Yes,
data
sir.
should be checked.
The operation head is arguing our supply chain is already efficient.
Yes, sir.
Supply chain maybe for the products
Yes, for the
purchased
stores.
from the suppliers. For the
Ah.
stores is the perfect one. The delivery side is just not perfect because they have not tried it. They have been doing it only in the store, this brick and mortar model.
Right.
Whatever they've been doing for 20 years. Customer complained
Okay.
about delivery delays. Were they doing a e-commerce activity earlier? I don't know.
No, sir. They are not
Don't
into
think
that.
New
They are
Not
not
into,
into
but
that.
then they are saying he dismissed customer complaint about delivery delays as isolated incident.
Even
Means some customer might be asking delivery delays or
Right.
delivery from the store
From the
Yes,
store.
sir.
what they have
yes,
purchased.
sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe.
Yeah, some issues are there. Correct.
Okay. And then
Supply delivery issues are there. Delivery issues are there. OTD is there. Problem is there. On
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Something like that.
Then are we able to identify any informal influencers? Let us look at the story once again. Where are the influencers? The employees who are getting
Supply
digital tools.
stakeholders, store
These are
manager.
The
The
informal
employees.
the employees, yes. The
Yes.
employees
Employees
are informal. Correct. Please continue. Sorry.
Old employees also maybe. Sometimes old employees digitalization generally they won't like. That is I seen generally. New generation is able to adapt immediately to that what is a dashboard, digital dashboard. But old generation I've seen old employees. That is also one issue.
Yes. So the employees did not gel well with the digital tool training.
Yeah, change. What is the digital transformation? They're not able to adapt to the new technology. New
Correct.
digital.
So what is the
They're very
solution?
comfort zone. They're not coming out. I mean, they're very happy with the existing system. That manual touch, manual system, or hard copies or something like that.
Yes, but then to adopt these digital tools, they have to be introduced to them properly. Maybe that is missing.
The training is missing. Training is like a checklist. They have told no. They're not having the effective. What is the program? Training program. It is
So
like
they should have a better training program for
yeah.
digital
Training
tools.
is not what is the line in line with the strategy.
Correct.
That is also missing.
Okay. What would be the next one? I think failing to
Acknowledge emotional impact.
yes, sir.
acknowledge the emotional impact.
Yeah.
I
To
think
this
this
point,
is
I'll add, sir. Sir,
Yes.
actually, my
Yes.
point is, what at one point they say that customers want to feel it and buy it. Okay, that is the main point that has to be addressed, isn't it?
Correct. Correct.
But if you go for digital mode, there will be a hiccup in this case. So emotional impact from the customer side is they want to touch it and feel the product before buying it. If it goes for online, there should be some a new segment of customer has to be created in such a case. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, that is the
Yes.
feeling of the one store manager.
One store person is giving that. So failing to acknowledge the emotional impact is this point, sir.
Right.
Okay.
Solution
feel
can be
good
that
aspect. Feel good
free
aspect.
delivery or free return can be given if the person doesn't feel it good
Yes,
enough
sir.
at the time of
Right.
delivery.
Okay.
Yes,
So
that is what they need to do.
operational
Correct.
issue of feel and touch not getting successful in the
Hmm.
online delivery mode can be managed by giving free return option.
Right. Correct. That should be
So,
mentioned.
Another point, sir, I want to address that the
Hmm.
young manager wishes to do with online offline campaigns. It is
Hmm.
also an emotional impact of a new generation manager that has to be addressed, but the senior rejects it abruptly. It is either you should do in a big one or you don't drop it out. So his emotion of attachment to this project is getting disturbed. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, correct,
Sir,
correct.
what I need
Making
to note
change.
down, sir?
This
Yes,
can
have
be
to
for the
be taken
changing everything
care
at
about
once
them.
also.
Yes, sir. So,
One more
Okay.
minute left.
okay.
Sir, what is the point to be noted, sir? Corruption, sir?
Yes, sir. That
Changing everything
junior
at once for that also can be one of the point.
Yes, sir.
When offline or online matter is being discussed, when a young manager says experimenting with small online offline campaign, manager said that a senior person told that we will go in single go. That is a mistake of cognitive hurdle when changing everything at once is being tried, and after 6 months the e-commerce website did not succeed.
Yeah, this is one of the
Assuming one size fits all message.
Sir, under ignoring small wins, they could have showcased a small pilot store's online success to build belief. Here, belief is not there. So
Yes.
confusion is there. They have a belief that online is for the youngsters. So some kind of belief they have in the environment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're talking about the proto build, sir? Some proto build?
Yeah,
No, sir.
the
Initial
ignoring
opinion
small
was
wins.
Proto means they wanted to show the taste of this digitalization, something you're telling?
Yeah, they could have showcased some pilot success, online success
That's
to
all
create
proto
the,
they will call. They will
yeah,
validate the
yeah.
proto. They will run the like model, some model, sample
Yes,
model.
yes.
Then
Yes,
it will be, then they will understand a very excellent. It is some people may be impressed. Our job will be very easy. That what is
Yeah.
that confidence you have to create to the employees. Then people will
Yes.
automatically change to the new change.
Mm.
Always change is a resistance. No, in resistance first I word is there. I means I also like that. So that is.
okay, assuming one size fits all.
Okay, friends.
Yes, sir.
One size do
So,
not fit all
Yogesh
the
ji, can you
training.
unshare the screen?
One size do not fit all the training. Yes.
I've been listening to the discussion. It's very, very interesting. And particularly Yogesh ji, is bringing out the old slide and putting it. There are
Sabotage it to some level, I suppose.
yes, there's a beautiful way of, that shows that you are keeping a record of everything and then going through it. The whole idea behind all these sessions is that we need to learn and we need to implement it. Otherwise, there's no use. It's like going to an evening show or a matinee show then. Okay. So, okay, fine. So, do you realize how many things can go wrong in a very simple strategy that the person wants to go digital? Is very much in tune with what the industry is doing. And this explains to you why 99% of the companies fail even when they keep abreast of the trend and in line with what's happening. You see, going digital, yes, that's the in thing today. You can't talk of anything without digitization. But then how many companies succeed? Then the question comes, if digitization is the way forward, why do companies fail? If everyone is convinced that that is the way forward, we keep talking about the old generation and the new generation. What we fail to understand is not the new generation is not only current, it is also future. And when you talk about the old generation, what you are effectively telling is you are rigid. You have lost your capacity to be flexible. You are conditioned. Your responses are not in tune with the trend. These are all lacunas inside you or the fault of the ecosystem in which you are operating. So without looking at it just as a cognitive hurdle, when you look at it in totality, you realize that if you want to succeed, you will have to take very serious steps. Understand what requires to be done, what can be the outcome of each of your steps, and then take the step. There was this great saying, look before you leap, think before you talk. Did we say, na? But how many of us practice it? Do we look before we leap? We leap, then
We
also
look
we
back.
don't use our eyes. What do? We use our mouth to give the excuse as to why we leapt and fell on our face. We blame the ground on which we fell. We blame gravity. We blame everything but ourselves for not looking before we leapt. Now, let's see what exactly happened here. What are the, you can put the entire cognitive hurdles that are present in this into 6 major buckets. Because, you can keep on analyzing it threadbare ad nauseam and bring out so many things, but all of them will go into 6 major buckets. And you'll have to find a solution for these 6 buckets. These 6 buckets are what are going to affect you. Let's see. How many different cognitive hurdles could you identify in this case? The first is denial of harsh reality. The harsh reality is very clearly spelled out that we are losing business. Your belief does not matter. Store manager believed customers would always prefer physical stores. But what does the fact say? The fact is that you are losing business. Operation head ignored delivery complaints. If the person was really not, right, then the delivery complaint should not have been there. Number 2, abstraction trap. Presentations full of jargon. Okay. A metallic plate with an oblong handle. What does it mean?
Huh?
Correct answer. Metallic plate with an oblong handle. Let me tell you how a jargon sounds. A metallic plate with an oblong handle. Could you recognize the item I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Metallic plate with and
Oblong handle.
Yeah.
Bucket, maybe.
Is bucket a plate?
No.
A spade with which you dig. So you see, jargons can throw everything into the dustbin. And today, management deals only in jargons. We use jargons which we don't understand, and when we use jargons which we don't understand, how do we expect the receiver to understand it? There is this GIGU. What is GIGU? How many of you, I am sure all of you have heard of GIGU.
Goods in, goods out.
Oh, garbage in, garbage out. If you put garbage, what will you get? Output will be garbage. And that's precisely how we talk. Yeah? Abstraction trap. Presentation full of jargon, machine learning, demand forecasting, disconnected strategy from employees' daily work. Employees couldn't connect dashboard to their routines. They simply could not connect what's happening, why it is there, how it is relevant, what do all these jargons mean. Status quo bias, sacred cow. Leaders insisted on traditional supply chain practices and rejected click and collect experiments. Overconfidence is what has always worked. Isn't that one of the major problems we have? All of us who are here, whenever a particular concept is given, what is the first thing we do? We try to take that concept and shove it into our belief system and see how far it is right. Don't we do that? We are habituated to doing things in a particular way. Someone comes out and tells something. This is how the mind works. The conscious has got no role till the subconscious hands the role to the conscious. Whenever you receive an information, it goes and sits on the critical filter. I'm sure you know how cognitive science works. It sits on the critical filter. The critical filter will allow all the information which it can relate to with its repository in the subconscious into the subconscious. There you have a Velcro type of mechanism, a hook mechanism. It will go and search out information which is related to the information which has been allowed inside. It will form a hook, the Velcro hook. Then it will see whether it has got the answer for it. If not, if it finds the answer inadequate, it pushes it up into the neocortex, where the neocortex will start working on it to find the answer. That means what? By the time it has come to you, already all the impressions have been formed, and it comes to the neocortex with very clear instructions. Find out how this is relevant. Sacred cows. If something does not match your belief system, it gets rejected out of hand. Leaders insisted on traditional supply chain practices and rejected click and collect experiments, overconfidence in what has always worked. This has always worked. You know, there is a way of saying it. The Americans have a beautiful way of saying it, which all of us have heard at one stage or another. Can you tell me what it is? They say, don't fix what ain't broke. If something is not broken, you don't need to fix it. Huh? So you wait till it breaks, then you fix it. You don't modify it or improve upon it depending upon the, it has to break first. The whole damn thing has to collapse. This is the third, status quo bias. Then we have skepticism, cynicism. Management doesn't walk the talk. Leaders fail to demonstrate commitment by action. Skepticism and cynicism, this is there, visible everywhere. Then finally, fear of failure. Small pilot proposals rejected as half-baked. This reinforced reluctance to try new ideas. These are the 5 major cognitive hurdles that are visible in this case study. What happened? 6 months after that, a disappointing e-commerce launch, the Brightmart CEO modified his approach. What did he do? Number 1, he exposed the reality visibly. How did he do it? Instead of
Data.
PowerPoint, they invited frontline managers to sit on customer service calls. They watched angry customers complain about the delayed deliveries and compared Brightmart's clunky website to a competitor's sleek app. When he showed the reality visibly, everyone became silent. Where does this echo from? This echo from the past. Humans are visual learners who respond strongly to immediate visible threats. Imagine you're all sitting. I'll give you a simple example, very simple example. Suddenly I shout, snake. What do?
We lift
Yeah.
the legs.
Look here and
Maybe-
there.
Look here.
We'll get up.
You look immediately. Panic sets in. You start looking. Where is it? Why? Why do you need to be able to spot the goddamn snake before you take action? Why? Someone has said snake.
Which
Why
way
is
to
it-
take action?
When there is a fire, why is the question where?
Maybe in the subconscious.
Yes, in the subconscious, we are tuned from our evolutionary background
Hmm.
to respond strongly to immediate visible threats. Seeing a predator rather than just hearing about it. If someone were to tell you there is a dinosaur down the street, the first thing you will do is open the window and look out. The dinosaur may even snap your head off, but then you have to see the goddamn dinosaur to believe it. Seeing is believing. So what did he do? He took the people, showed them where the problem is. He exposed the reality visibly. When the reality is exposed visibly, argument is over. Because by evolutionary behavior, you will believe what you see. Like another example, you're walking on the street. You see a bench. You're walking on the street, there is a park, and you see a bench. On the bench is written wet paint. What will you do?
You will not sit.
We'll put the hand,
On the seat.
whether it is wet or not.
JSG is telling you, you'll touch it. He's written wet paint. Why do you want to go and touch it?
Hmm.
You see how our evolution, how it is. Did you ever think about this? We talk about danger. A person is not performing. You want to drive the message that, look, your family will suffer if you don't perform. If you don't perform, you lose your job. Lose your job, you don't have an income. If you don't have an income, it is your wife and children who are going to suffer. On the 3rd of every month, the milkman will come. He has to be paid for last month's milk. Otherwise, he will not supply. Ration has to be paid. How will you do this? There's a simple, dirty method. Can you think about it? We told his salary and let him go through the whole damn shit. And then at the end of the time, call him, tell him, says, look, I just wanted you to experience what it is like if the money does not come on the 1st of every month. I have to pay you on the 1st of every month. I have to keep my commitment, but you will not perform. You will not keep your commitment. Is this the contract between you and me? I'm not advocating that you do it, but this is one way of showing visibly what can happen. Next, second thing. Use analogies and stories. Instead of PowerPoint, how do you do this? To explain digital transformation, the CEO used a story. We are like a farmer who has relied on rainfall for decades, but now weather patterns are changing. Climate change is a big thing. We must dig a well, and e-commerce is our well. This metaphor, the employees will understand. Remember one thing, the evolutionary thing is storytelling has been a survival tool for millennia, for centuries. It has been a survival tool. Our brains are wired to remember and act on narratives, not abstract concepts. For instance, let me give you a simple example. If you hunt all the deers in the locality around the place where you are living as a Iron Age man, as a Stone Age person, what will happen?
Tigers will come in.
No, tigers will not come, because tigers will come only if the deers are there. They will come for the deers. Tigers
Okay.
will go. You will be safe. If you want to do that, then you will die of starvation in winter. Because in summer you have killed all the deers, there will be no deer to hunt in winter. What will you do then? Now you understand the meaning of sustaining? If you want to have a sustenance strategy, you should allow adequate amount of deers to live so that they can keep multiplying and the supply of material, raw material for your food will be continuous. Storytelling is a very powerful method. That is why three things happen simultaneously in the evolutionary process. If you have studied anthropology, you will know three things happen simultaneously. Can any one of you tell what are those three things? The discovery of fire, storytelling, and the expansion of the brain because of cooked food. When the fire discovery happened, daytime became bigger, because earlier when fire was not there, as soon as it used to get dark, the first instinct was to survive, and they used to go into a huddle and stay away. But now with fire, they could keep the predators away. Light was available. They sat all around and they started telling, exchanging what had happened between each other. Storytelling came. Food was cooked. Cooked food expanded the brain because of more amount of energy being available. So storytelling is a very, very powerful way of overcoming the problems that you will face, because you can create metaphors. Number three, involve people early. As we have seen, humans cooperate best when they hunt together. Shared participation builds ownership and commitment. Ownership is the key to working together. Then, challenge sacred cows. Evolutionary ego. What is evolutionary ego? Questioning group norms has always been dangerous. Tribes survived when some dared to rethink old hunting routes or tools, but that was a very risky thing. The CEO openly questioned the long-standing belief that our supply chain is the best. Data was shared showing competitive delivery times were 40% faster. He encouraged managers to propose fixes, breaking the taboo of criticizing legacy process. And when he encouraged managers to propose fixes, he was also involving the people much early in making process. Even though questioning group norms has always been dangerous, please remember that tribes survived only when someone dared to rethink old hunting routes or tools. Can you tell me from history one such instance which has changed the landscape of civilizations? It's having an impact even today.
Wheel, sir, wheel invention.
If Moses who was a member of the Pharaoh's family, had not questioned the Pharaoh, taken the people away in search of the God's land, Israel would never have been formed, and the world would have been a totally different place. He had dared, as at that time, it was very dangerous. He dared. Remember one thing, all the people in history who have questioned, be it Socrates, Copernicus, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, all the people who have questioned, Nelson Mandela, have all had to face hell. But it is their questioning which created a better world. We should not forget that. All the people who have questioned have faced hell. Jesus Christ, who has not?
Abraham Lincoln.
Huh?
Abraham Lincoln, sir. Abraham Lincoln. Martin Luther King.
Luther King, everyone who questioned have faced hell.
Yeah.
Then create small wins. When you talk of a strategy, a long-term thing, it all looks very vague. It all looks very abstract. It looks as though you're living in a cuckoo world. Human beings literally can't see beyond their nose. So you need to constantly work on small wins. That is where design thinking comes in, where every step becomes important. You work with the current scenario. The outcome is the next current scenario that you start working with towards the desired scenario. So celebrate small wins. And when you celebrate small wins, you ensure that you can take them forward the way you want. Please remember, the early hunters needed quick food returns for new strategies to avoid starvation. On an empty stomach, you can't make big strategies. And if you don't hunt immediately, you don't get the food. There was no refrigerator where they could store the meat. The meat will get spoiled. So small wins signal safety in change. When you are approaching change, you have to plan small wins. Otherwise, you will not be able to take it forward. Remember one thing, battles cannot be won on an empty stomach. Your stomach has to be full if you want to win the battle. If your stomach has to be full, you will have to have quick food. And for quick food, immediate hunt is required. Immediate hunt are the small wins. Then finally, leadership by example. A CEO, there is this saying, rule makers should not be rule breakers. Rule makers should not be rule breakers. That is the biggest principle of leadership by example. Tribes follow leaders who act at first in dangerous hunts. Credibility comes from visible action, not words. You keep talking big, but when it comes to delivery, you fail. That is not leadership. These are the 6 things which the CEO did. The CEO and senior leaders began personally using the app to order the products. When you start personally using it, then people see that it is working and they also move towards this. Cynicism and skepticism will drop quickly. I know of many CEOs, many company leaders. I can tell you countless number of company leaders I know who demand that people come to the office on dot at 9. They will reach at 11. They will demand that their employees come to the office at 9. They themselves will reach at 11. They will demand that you should not leave the office before completing your work, but they themselves will keep postponing the work which they have to do. And they can give any excuse they want. They might be even right also. Maybe, the CEO has worked to the earlier day morning, 3 o'clock before he went home. And then he has come back at 11. That's no excuse. You want people to come at 9, you had better be there by 8:55. You should be there to receive them. It is only then the message is clear. The Americans have a saying for this: put your money where your mouth is. Don't talk, show it. There are 3 different types of cognitive hurdles. We can categorize them as being of the individual level. These are barriers rooted in how each person thinks and feels. These are cognitive biases: confirmation bias, Tartar bias, fear of failure, resistance to new skills. You don't want to learn new skills because you're scared. Suddenly the child in you surfaces. Do you remember the first day you went to school, how you cried? Ask your mother, she will tell you. Ask your parents how you made life difficult for them. Every day it was time for you to go to school. The root cause, humans evolved to conserve energy. As I told you, the brain is only 2% of the body weight, but it consumes over 20% of the energy. So nature has created systems by which it will conserve energy. Our brains prefer familiar patterns, status quo bias, because experimentation in the wild carries survival risk. There is no time to experiment. You will not live to see another day. To help you understand the importance of this, I will ask you a simple question. You are appearing for a paratrooper test. What test?
Paratrooper.
What is a paratrooper? One who jumps from the parachute from a 20,000 feet height. It's a paratrooper.
No, no.
Test for 10
So-
jumps.
One who jumps from a aircraft or a aircraft at 10,000, 20,000 feet. After he jumping, he will open up the parachute. That is, he is a parachute.
Correct, sir. Okay. The examination consists of 10 jumps. And the passing is only at 80%. So, my dear friends, how many successful jumps does the paratrooper have to make? I think that's a simpler question than this.
8.
8, sir.
He will die. Try falling from 20,000 feet without the parachute opening. He'll have to make successful jumps. 10.
10.
There is no option. If he makes 8, he dies. So passing examination is irrelevant. Forget that 80% marks. All 10 parachute jumps will have to be successful. Is it clear? It is very similar in the wild. There is no chance for survival if your experiment fails even once. The next time you will not be alive to experiment. That is the reason, why status quo bias is so strong within us. It has come from the earliest time when the first time man faced a tiger, what he did and saved him. He told his people, and since then, everybody has been doing the same thing because they don't want to try again. It is that proverbial 9th failed attempt of parachute jump. He will not live after that, so no passing is of any use. Confirmation bias evolved to reduce mental load. It is easier to notice information that supports our current beliefs. So these are very powerful hurdles at the individual level. Confirmation bias, status quo bias. Then we come to the next one. Group level hurdles. These arise from lean, team dynamics, shared assumptions, cultural inertia. Groupthink, social conformity, cultural blind spots, unspoken rules. Root cause? In tribal life, survival depends on group cohesion. Dissent could create division and weaken defense against predators or rival tribes. Groupthink and conformity evolved to maintain unity, even if it meant overlooking better solutions. Social validation, copying others, was a safer survival strategy than standing out. Be like everyone else. Don't try to stand out because it might not work. This is a major thing. One of the things which we hear in the offices, things are not done this way here. This is not our culture. Yahan aise hi we do things. These are the rules. Stick to the rules. Follow what is prescribed. These are all what? Groupthink. But then there is safety in numbers. Then we come to the final one, organizational hurdles. These occur at the systemic, structure, and industry level. The dominant logic of the industry, outdated success formulas, rigid institutionalized practices, root cause. Just as tribes passed down hunting methods of ritual the only way, organizations institutionalized practice that once gave them success. Success creates rigidity. Leaders cling to proven modes because abandoning them feels like betraying their tribe vision. Collective memory of past win leads to overconfidence, making it difficult to adapt to new realities. So these are the three major types of hurdles which exist. Hurdles can be there at the individual level, at the group level, at the organization level. And you will have to handle all these three very effectively if you have to move. How cognitive hurdles are formed, that is something which is very, very important. Number one, due to combination of psychological, organizational, and contextual factors. Comfort with status quo. People assume if it isn't broken, don't fix it. Past success makes them resistant to new strategies. People think things are working fine and don't see the urgency to change. Success in the past closes their eyes to current or future risks. And by the time they wake up, it's already too late. Number two, selective perception and bias. What is the selective perception and bias? People filter information. As I told you, the critical filter will pass information onto the subconscious where it will get paired and only that will be visible. That will be sent to the neocortex to work upon. People filter information that confirms their existing belief and ignore conflicting evidence. Employees and managers focus only on what they want to see. I'll give you an example. There can be no better example than this. How many of you agree that all metals are solid?
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Except one.
Mercury.
Correct. So the first thing which came out was all metals are solid. Then somebody discovered that mercury is also a metal and it is liquid. How did mankind overcome this? Now you see this, all metals are solid, but mercury is a liquid, has to be overcome. How did they overcome?
Research.
After seeing the practical research.
By creating a simple adage. You know what they said? Exception proves the rule. Matter ends there. Exception is not the rule. That there is an exception only proves the rule. All metals are solid. Mercury is an exception. Mercury is a liquid. It being a liquid and an exception proves the rule that all metals are solid. It is like they're saying, you know, boss is always right. When he is wrong, refer to rule number one, boss is always right. Selective perception and bias. Third, lack of awareness of external threats. People inside organizations and families don't feel external changes until it's too late. People inside the organization, inside the company, often underestimate market shifts, disruption, or competitor moves. Internal metrics may paint a misleading picture of stability. Do you know why this happens? Do you know why this happens? Why people inside the organization or family are unconscious to outside threats? Can you tell me, can any one of you tell me why this happens? You're muted, Yogesh.
Because they are safe and secure in their internal organization, they don't want to see it. They are biased towards it.
Secure market shifts is making them unsafe, but still they are not aware of it.
They are not exposed to the market.
Where in Nokia were safe and secure when the market was shifting outside, or people in Kodak were safe and secure when the market was shifting outside.
Sometimes like overconfidence, something.
They were getting their salaries and they were getting their.
No, even if they were not getting it, the problem is they were busy playing politics for their internal agenda. Where are they busy looking at what's happening outside? They are only creating an agenda inside. Isn't it? Lack of awareness of external threats. Then overload of abstractions. White forms. Strategy is often explained in jargon, graph, vague visions, making it hard for people to emotionally grasp what is at stake. Strategy often gets communicated in jargon, PowerPoints, high-level abstractions. Employees can't see what the change means in practice. What is the biggest reason for this? The biggest reason for this is they themselves do not understand it completely. When you really do not understand it completely, you try to obfuscate what you are telling by using big, long, complex words and expressions. Simple. If it scratches, itch. This is the most sensible thing to say. But if you tell someone, if you went to a doctor, you say, sir, it is itching, and he tells you scratch, will you pay him his fees? Tell me, will you pay him his fees? Now he has to come up with a whole lot of explanation for something which is as simple as if it is scratching, itching, scratch. You see, someone said, sir, I limp in all the places. The other person said, don't go to those places. Go to those places where you don't limp. See, these are answers which are funny. I told you, directive at Axada. This is like bringing it down to that level so that you will not forget to be simple in your delivery. When you are delivering something to somebody, like Winston Churchill, he said, before giving a speech in the parliament, what do I do in the House of Commons? What do I do? I call my office boy who is 10 years standing outside and deliver it to him. If he has understood, those duffers will, otherwise they will not. He had a very clear measurement, This 10-year-old boy has to understand what he's talking. Then emotional attachment. If you are not going to address the heart, nothing is going to come out of it. White forms, people cling to traditions, cultural identity, fearing loss which happens. Deep cultural aspect of how we do things, fear of losing identity, status, or competence if things change. We are so attached to all these things that we will not change if we are not attached emotionally. This is leadership. Anybody doubt whether the leaders truly believe or will follow through on their new strategy, because most often leaders have been seen to say one thing and do another. That is one of the reasons why it happens. Finally, information silos. Different departments hold different pictures of reality. Without a shared fact base, there is no collective cognitive recognition of the problem. I'll give you a simple example. hunters find that animals are migrating away from a particular area. Okay? Hunters find in the olden age, the Stone Age I'm talking, hunters find that animals are migrating away from a particular area. What do they deduce?
Inhabitable condition for themselves also.
Yes, animals are tuned to what is going to happen in nature. So animals fear that there is going to be a drought or a famine or some sort of a geographical calamity in that area, so they move away. But if they come and tell, the farmers will tell, this year our harvest is very good, so we cannot move from here. Outcome? Disaster. Why? Because there is no internal sharing of information between the farming community and the hunting community, which will align itself together and take a particular decision for the tribe. Today, what happens? Accounts looks at what is required for it. Marketing looks at what is required for it. Finance will look at what is required for it. Sales will look at what is required for it. Production will look at what is required for it. And unless all of them combine their information together, the company will suffer. So information silos is one reason why hurdles happen. Because it is very, very difficult to create a strategy which will address the concerns of all the silos at the same time. Comfort with status quo. For early humans, stability meant survival. If a hunting ground or water source worked, moving to a new one was risky. It could mean starvation or death. Change often carried more danger than reward because it was uncertain. To the human beings at the beginning of the evolutionary stage, change was always meant uncertain. Stability meant certainty. A tribe sticking to the same riverbank for fishing resisted moving if others reported better river elsewhere because the familiar spot guaranteed food and safety. Chalo bhai, jo kuch bhi hai, let us remain in this. We are safe here. Let's not take a chance. Employees resist digital transformation because the current system feels safe and known, even if outdated. A known devil is better than an unknown angel. This is a great saying we have all heard, isn't it? A known devil is better than an unknown angel. We are ready to live with the devil, which we know. But we are not ready to live with an angel, which we don't know. Without realizing that once you live, you will know. Try it, no? But we won't do that. Selective perception bias. The brain evolved to filter overwhelming information and focus only on what matches past experience. Confirmation bias helps humans act quickly instead of reanalyzing everything. This is what is meant by mental laziness. We would rather have everything pre-cooked and served to us. That means what? We have not really evolved much intellectually from a bacteria, which depends upon pre-cooked food for survival. A hunter who once near tall grass would always interpret tall grass movement as tiger, ignoring other possibilities. This fast bias kept him alive. Because it saved him once, he has made it a rule that if the tall grass is shaking, a tiger is moving, time for me to vacate this place. It could be a wild boar, it could be a wild goat, it could be a wild deer, but that is not his concern. Once the tiger came out of it, somehow he escaped. Now only a tiger will come to his mind whenever he will see a tall grass moving. A manager interprets minor improvements in quarterly sales as good that the old business model still works, ignoring bigger threats like new entrants. People try to convince themselves that what has worked earlier is what is happening now. Lack of awareness of external threats. Our ancestors lived in small local groups focused on immediate surrounding. The human mind wasn't designed to monitor distant threats. That is the saying, out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight dangers were rarely considered urgent. That is the reason why when we hear of a riot taking place in London or in France, it is just news to us. It is not a possibility. Someone else's daughter got raped. Our daughter is safe. Why bother about it? Out of sight, out of mind. It's happening somewhere to somebody else. A farming village prepared only for seasonal local floods, but ignored rumors of migrating rival tribes far away. They always plan only for the local floods. They ignore the information that lots of rival, tribes are coming. A company focuses on beating local competitors, blind to a foreign startup that suddenly disrupts their market globally. Overload of abstraction. The human brain evolved to understand concrete sensory experiences, not abstract concepts. Our mind does not understand abstract concepts. Storytelling, symbols, rituals emerge to make meaning accessible. Please understand one thing. The brain has developed a lot now. But when storytelling, symbols, and rituals evolved, came into the being, our brain was very, very primitive. But what has come down to us through our genes, through inheritance, are those storytelling, symbols, and rituals which form the foundation of our life today. Then leaders didn't tell tribes, we must ensure sustainable hunting practices. Just imagine. Sitting around the fire, one leader says to his group of uneducated, very poorly developed brain, we should develop sustainable hunting practices. What do you think they would have understood? What did he mean when he said we should develop sustainable hunting practices? He meant don't kill all the goddamn animals in front of you. We need something for tomorrow also. That's what he meant, isn't it? But if he had used this jargon, sustainable hunting practices, it would have gone over the head. Instead, they said, as a cautionary tale, the clan that killed all the deer starved next winter. If you kill all the deers now, you will starve the next winter, which is coming. Now, employees struggle to connect with phrases like synergy and customer centricity. They respond better to a story about a real customer who switched to a rival because of poor service. If I tell you a story of how a customer moved away from your business to a competitor because your service was poor, you will be able to relate better. Rather than if I were to say that you should work at synergy with your customer through customer centricity. You'll say, okay, sir, time ho gaya hai, 10 baj gaya hai, let me go for dinner. I will go dinner, have dinner and go to sleep. Because synergy, customer centricity means you're wasting my time. But if you tell you will lose your customer to your rival if you don't give good service, you say, yes, sir, how should I give good service? Do you have any good idea? Now we are on track. Emotional attachment. Traditions, rituals, and ways of doing things created group cohesion. What is the word we often use in life? A man comes, he's got married, he's brought a new bride to the house. The mother-in-law is telling her neighbors, what will she say to praise this lady?
घूंघट लो पल्ला लो
नहीं, वो कहेगी बड़ी संस्कारी औरत है ये, बड़ों की इज्जत करती है, हमारे घर के लायक है. Correct or not? She's a very cultured lady. She respects the elders. She will take care of her family traditions. What are all these things? Huh? How is it important? Is that why she has come here? Just think very carefully. Is that why she got married to your son? So that your sanskar can be upheld? Traditions, rituals, and ways of doing things created group cohesion. This sanskari feeling, creates a cohesion within the family. Emotional attachment to the old way ensured cultural survival and continuity. हमारी दादी करवा चौथ रखती थी बहू, तुम भी रखो करवा चौथ, दादी बनो. Culture, cohesion, doing things the way my grandmother did is indicative that we are one family. What a tremendous impact, just imagine. Practice such as fire making, burial rituals, food sharing customs are questioned as breaking traditions, risk social exclusion, or angering the gods. We are in Pitru Paksh, isn't it? It is a time when we have to remember our ancestors, culture, tradition. Then they will bless us and guide us on our journey to moksha. How strong it is. A company with 100 years of print publishing resists e-books. The old identity feels sacred. Families resist new diets because this is how our ancestors ate. Even today, it's a luxury, to have a mud pot to cook in. We have Iesombu, I don't know what, it's got the zinc, I think, pots where we cook. It is supposed to give a good flavor.
copper zinc
Copper, yeah, all these things, it all
Brass.
come down
brass
Brass.
to that. Sanskar. Mistrust in leadership. Early tribes often suffered from leaders who made poor decisions. If a chieftain, choosing insufficient hunting grounds, leading to wars or hoarding resources, skepticism towards authority was a protective instinct. If a chieftain led a hunt into dangerous territory and failed, their tribe became wary of following him again. Tell me one thing. There is so much talk of Alexander the Great. Why? What is the great thing he did? He massacred millions by leading his army into war. Is there something very good? Today we talk of genocide in Ukraine. Today we talk of genocide in Gaza. And we glorify Alexander, who did a greater genocide. Didn't he? See how things are changing. Employees roll their eyes at the CEO's new initiative because they have seen past ones fail. Families are skeptical of their father's fitness plan because he quit last time. Today you go and give a fitness plan, your children are, doubtful about it because they say, what about you? Are you fit? Practice what you preach. Information silos. Tribes survived by specializing knowledge. Hunters knew the forest. Gatherers knew plants. Shamans knew rituals. Let me ask you a simple question. How many doctorates are here? How many specialists are there? One. Suri sir is a specialist. Hanumantrao Mudbal sir is a specialist. Nageshwar Kumar Ramalingam is a specialist.
Jayesh is specialist in induction hardening.
All of you are specialists. The only duffer here is me, who is a thorough
Specialist in strategy.
thorough generalist. Tribes survived by specializing knowledge. Hunters knew the forest, gatherers knew plants, shamans knew ritual. But this created fragmented worldview. Knowledge wasn't shared across roles. And what happened because of that? Hunters might know that a particular herd is moving away while farmers believe crops are fine. Without knowledge exchange, the tribe failed to anticipate famine, and there was chaos and total destruction. If they had shared their knowledge, what would they have done? The hunters would have told the animals are migrating, famine is coming. The farmers would have told we are having a good harvest, let us do one thing, harvest a bit early, move away from here so that before this harvest is exhausted, we can find a new place. Correct or not, Yogesh ji?
Yes.
But when you operate in silos, problem. Sales, marketing, production, each hold different pieces of reality. Families argue about fitness because each member sees only their own expense area. Just imagine. Yogesh ji is having a family meeting. Yogesh ji, can I use you as an example?
Yeah.
Yogesh ji is having a family meeting. He calls his son, daughter, wife, nephew, niece, everybody. Makes them sit all around them and says, look, this year has been good. We have done good business. A lot of revenue we have generated. But what I want to do is I want to create an escrow account. I want to put so much into a fixed deposit so that in future it can be a net for us. So we will all have to economize. The sum and substance is he wants to tell we have to economize. I don't want people going and spending madly. What do you think will be the first response of the people? First response, as usual, will come from the wife. She'll say, Suno ji, I buy only one sari during Diwali. So please don't tell me I have no expenditure. All the money I'm spending is on you people only by buying vegetables and food. She will say, I am not involved in this. Son will say, Daddy, you have fixed the pocket money for me. And you never give me anything more than that. So where can I reduce the expenditure? Daughter will say, Papa, मैं तो makeup भी नहीं खरीदती. I don't even go to the parties of my friends. And anyway, you stopped celebrating my birthday party when I was 5 years old. So I don't have any. Nobody will try to understand what Yogesh is trying to tell. They will all be justifying their current expenditure. That one sari in Diwali might have cost 50,000, maybe poor Yogesh is telling, bring it down to 25. But then everybody is trying to defend their area. Sales, marketing, production, each hold different pieces of reality. Families argue about finances because each member sees only their own expense area. They didn't try to understand overall what is being told. What we need to understand and appreciate is that all these hurdles are adaptive behaviors that once ensured survival in uncertain, dangerous environments. All these are adaptive behaviors that were once ensured survival in uncertain and dangerous environment. How? There was a time when stability was more important than taking risk. Taking risk was not appreciated at one time because it risked the entire tribe. If something is stable, there is this saying, don't rock the boat. How many of us have heard it? Don't rock the boat means what? Don't take risk. Don't do things which are not tested and proved. We don't want to get into shit. There is stability, there is safety. Let's continue with it. That's what it meant, isn't it? So there was a time when stability is more important than risk. But today, what do we say? Even a tortoise cannot progress if it doesn't stick its neck out. Your risk aversion is your biggest drawback. If you don't take risk, you do not move forward. We say that or not today?
Take calculated risk.
Take calculated. We put calculated because we are in the transition phase from old to new. We are in between. So we put that word calculated to make ourselves safe. वो कहते हैं ना हमें मालूम है हकीकत जन्नत की हकीकत लेकिन दिल बहलाने को खालिद ये ख्याल भी अच्छा है कैलकुलेटेड डाल दिया तो सब ठीक हो गया. Then what is the next one? Familiar is more important than unknown. Today, when we talk about future scenario planning, trend measurement, we are talking about the unknown. As technology makes advances leaps and bounds, can you stick to the familiar? AI, robotics, machine learning, quantum computing, digitization is creating havoc all over the place. Can you talk about the familiar? Can you still think in terms of maintaining accounts in a khata? But our mind, because of its evolutionary, inheritance, looks only at the familiar. Number 3, concrete versus abstract. We are not interested in the abstract. We want concrete things in front of us. Tradition versus innovation. The whole world is talking about innovation. We talk about tradition, the tested thing. But in modern business and life, these instincts become barriers instead of assets. Stability, familiarity, concrete, tradition are all barriers. Strategy implementation is really about rewiring ancient survival logic to fit new contexts. You will have to look at cognitive, barrier overcoming as rewiring your old thinking into new contexts. So what are the ways to overcome? Number 1, expose the reality visibly. Show frontline managers the harsh reality. Customer complaints, competitor advantages, cost inefficiencies, rather than just telling them. Show. That is where it comes, show and tell. First show and then tell. Number 2, use analogies. Translate abstract strategy into vivid, relatable narratives. Storytelling becomes extraordinarily important in this context. If you're a good storyteller, you've already won half the battle. Don't narrate, tell a story. Involve people early. Let employees experience the gaps and co-create solutions. They say, only a person who is wearing the shoe knows where it bites him. If you are not wearing the shoe, you will not know where it bites you. So get him to wear the shoe. Challenge sacred cows. Encourage questioning of industry norms and internal assumptions. Things change. If everything can change, why can't industry norms and assumptions change? Create small wins, tangible proof that the new strategy works, reduces doubt. Small wins can ensure that there is continuity in implementation. And finally, leaders must embody the change visibly to encounter cynicism. Be the change that you desire in others. Now let us see, how do you expose reality visibly? Collect hard evidence, customer complaints, cost data, competitor benchmarks, collect them. Don't talk just off the hat. Number two, bring employees face to face with reality. Get them to visit the sites. Get them to visit the customer panels, field shadowing. Let them visualize the problem with simple dashboards, videos, and stories. Make it a part of their life. Leave space for reflection. Let employee process what they see. Don't rush them. Show people the pain or gap firsthand rather than discussing it in abstract terms. Show it to them. If you can do this, believe me, most of the cognitive hurdles which occur can be overcome. Number two, use analogies and stories. Identify the essence of the strategy. What is the essence of your strategy? Just 1 or 2 points. Don't go about talking about it in a big way. You can't tell stories about everything. If there are 10 points, find out which are the key ones. Find a relatable analogy to it from sports, travel, daily life. Find a relatable analogy. Then tell a story with a beginning, problem, and resolution. A small story with beginning, problem, and resolution. And then repeat the analogy consistently. Like I keep saying, intention drives energy. Keep telling it so that it gets drummed into the head. A simple example can be, the mother explains the importance of saving money by telling kids the story of how the ant collected the food in summer to survive winter, whereas the grasshopper was enjoying itself, and in winter, because of starvation, it died. That is why, we should save for tough times. This story drills into the mind of the child the importance of saving money so that it can develop financial freedom. Turn complex strategy into something people can emotionally connect with. And that you can do with storytelling. Just identify 1 or 2 key points of the strategy. Find a relatable story analogy in sports, travel, daily life, or something which the child or the person will be able to relate to. Create a short story with a clear-cut beginning, a problem, and an end, and keep repeating it so that, it keeps on sedimenting strong. Involve people early. Share the problem openly, not just the solution. Share the problem. Invite employees, customers, family members to brainstorm on that problem. Use workshops, simulation, or pilot projects to test the ideas. And finally, incorporate their inputs visibly so they feel the ownership. You may have the solution with you, but if you find a few things which are very interesting and which can work, incorporate it into it so that everyone will feel an ownership. Even if one person's idea gets integrated, everyone will feel the ownership because they were all part of the process. Remember, people support what they help create. If they have helped you create it, they will definitely support it. Challenge sacred cows. Share the problem openly, not just the solution. Again, the same thing. Why are we going back to the same one? Identify and question outdated assumptions or traditions that hold the group back. I think there is a mistake in this.
Repeated.
I think, when I copied that earlier slide, just a minute. Just give me half a second. When I copied that earlier slide, I forgot to enter this text into that. So challenge the thing, challenge the sacred cows, list the untouchables in the organization family. What is it that is untouchable in the family or the organization? Why do we do it this way? Does it still add value? Ask the question, why do we do it this way? Does it still add value? Many things we continue doing even though it doesn't add any value. Use external benchmarks to challenge the belief. See how things are being done in the outside world. And finally, pilot a new way in a low risk area before scaling. Once you get the answer, you challenge the sacred cow, create a pilot, test it in a very less risky area and see how all these things evolves. Identifying, question outdated assumptions or traditions that hold the group back. Create small wins, identify a small, visible, solvable problem aligned with the strategy. Implement a pilot project or quick action. Publicize the result widely. Let people see that it is working. Link the small win to the bigger strategy to show relevance. Build credibility and momentum with quick successes. In leadership by example, identify the symbolic behavior that employees' families will notice most. You see, you should ensure as a leader to identify that one or two behaviors which employees and families will notice most. Just because, if you are going to model yourself on a thing which is not relevant, it's not going to work. If you want the family to be economical, you should practice economy. If you want the family members to be cooperative, you should be willing to cooperate with all of them as per their requirement. Identify one or two behaviors which will be observed by your family members and by your employees. And then demonstrate commitment publicly and consistently. Show that you are following it. Avoid hypocrisy. Never say do this while doing the opposite. As they say, rule makers should never be rule breakers. And finally, celebrate others who follow the example. Remember one thing, the behavior which gets rewarded gets repeated. So celebrate the others who follow the example. Leaders must model the behavior they want others to adopt. This is the way you ensure that you handle cognitive thing. Now, the question is, where are these taken from? What is the proof that they work? All these are observations, and once it has been observed, it has been researched, and behavioral scientists and business scientists have converted it into theories and concepts. These theories and concepts have been researched upon, and doctorates have been got on these theories and concepts in Ivy League universities like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Princeton, Wharton, or all these places. And there are examples of it. I would suggest to all of you that I am now going to give you the details of the research papers and the concepts from which these have been taken. Please go and read those if you can. See, there is only how much you can learn here. Okay, being your mentor, I am obliged to help you. If you come to me with any problem that you have in this implementation, you can always approach me for any clarification or any strategy to implement them. I will definitely help you. But beyond that, what I think you should do is, from now onwards, I will give you the source material from where these have been taken and calculated. Go read those source material. The source material will give you these principles in a much broader and wider perspective and horizon. So you will be able to understand it better. Is it okay? Huh? Okay. Let's see the core theoretical roots. The 6 actions evolve mainly from the following theoretical roots. Cognitive behavioral psychology, Kurt Lewin, change theory, 1947. Unfreeze, change, refreeze. You know, what is called as learn, unlearn, and relearn. Something like that. Kurt Lewin's change theory of 1947 says unfreeze, change, refreeze, expose the reality visibly, unfreeze, show the gap, disturb comfort zone. By showing the gap, you disturb the comfort zone of the person who is seeing it. Create small wins. By creating a new strategy, you create small wins, which is the change. Build new habits in manageable ways. Leadership by example, refreeze, stabilize the new norm. This is the cognitive behavioral psychology theory of Kurt Lewin, change theory, 1947. This is where Kim and Rene took a part of this. The second, cognitive dissonance theory, Festinger, 1957. People change behavior when faced with visible contradictions between what they believe and what they see. Example, bills on the dining table, undeniable overspending. When your dinner table bills have gone up, it means there is an undeniable overspending which is happening. Cognitive dissonance theory, Festinger, 1957. Please go and read this. Then social learning theory, Bandura, 1977. Leadership by example stems directly from this. People copy observed behavior, not instructions. The simple example is children, monkey see, monkey do. I'm sure you all have heard of this. The monkey see, monkey do. Children see their parents and learn from it. This is a very, very powerful theory. The leadership, for example, comes directly from this theory. Your subordinates and your team members, your followers, see what you are doing. They don't listen to what you are saying. Blue Ocean Strategy, Kim and Rene. Tipping point leadership framework explicitly defines cognitive hurdles. Tipping point leadership directly talks about cognitive hurdles, getting people to see problems and opportunities in a new way. Using visual awakening, field experience, small wins, role modeling. You can read up tipping point leadership. We will also be taking the class on tipping point leadership at one stage. At that time, we will understand this in greater detail. Kota's 8-step change model 1996. Create a sense of urgency, expose reality visibly, form a guiding coalition, generate short-term wins, involve people early, create small wins, anchor new approaches in the culture, leadership by example. All these have been spoken by Kotler as an 8-step change model of 1996. And then finally, the nudge theory of Richard Thaler, for which he got the Nobel Prize in 2011, using stories, analogies, and visible cues nudges people towards new behavior and without force. You will be surprised to know that most advanced countries in the world have a nudge department in the government, which tells and advises the government on how to implement government policies so that people will not resist it. Research examples: expose reality visibly. Nissan turnaround, Carlos Ghosn, 1999. He made managers face financial data directly. Visiting plans to see waste instead of hiding behind reports. The research is Blue Ocean Strategy case on New York City police. New York City during 1994-96 had huge amount of crime. What did the Rudy Giuliani, who became the mayor, did? And Billy Branton was at that time the commissioner. They took senior officers to crime scenes to see reality, triggering change. They were asked to go and look at the crime scene and investigate the crime, the senior most people, and that changed how they started addressing the problem. Use analogies and stories. Herb Kelleher constantly used simple stories about fun, friendliness, and low cost. Southwest Airlines kept culture alive. Research Dennings 2005, The Leader's Guide to Storytelling, shows how analogies build emotional buy-in. You can read this book, The Leader's Guide to Storytelling. We will also be having a number of classes, maybe about 6 or 7 classes on how to tell corporate stories, different types of corporate stories. There are 14 different types of corporate stories. Maybe, we will have 2 of them in each session so that in 7 sessions we can complete it. Those 14 different types are there because each one will appeal to one particular type of a person. Everything will not appeal to everyone. But if you learn how to tell these corporate stories, you will be able to drive the message very powerfully to your employees, internal and external customers both. Then involve people early. Toyota production, TPS, frontline workers co-create process improvement, Kaizen. Ownership leads to sustained gains. Research, PNN Noheria, cracking the code of change. 200. Then you have got the challenge sacred cows. Netflix killed its DVD by mail even when it was profitable to move into streaming. Result, it became the #1 company in the world. This research is used by Christensen's Innovator Dilemma 1997. Entrenched assumption is key to avoiding disruption. You can read Innovator's Dilemma, the book by Clayton Christensen, who is the propounder of disruptive innovation. Create small wins, General Electric, Jack Welch. Introduce workout sessions where small, rapid improvements created belief in change. Wake 1984, small wins redefining the scale of social problems, small visible victories reduce cognitive resistance. And finally, we have leadership by example, Tata Group. Ratan Tata personally wrote the Nano during its launch to show belief in the people's car. Research courses in Posner, 1987, the leadership challenge. Model the way is a core practice. You can read this, you will be getting the, recording, so you can go ahead and see the recording for all these. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this also so that you will have the reading material with you. Then friends, compulsory 5-point feedback. For the last 2 times, I did not show this slide, so feedbacks drop. So you see, if it can happen,
Very good, very good.
relevance of content, clarity of delivery of concept, engagement and interaction, practical takeaways and implementation readiness, and finally, overall experience and suggestion for improvement. You can take a screenshot of this and try to give your feedback based on this. The feedback is not for me alone, it is for you also to understand what you have got from this session. And if anyone wants any help at any point, please feel free to reach out to me. Okay? Any questions? So what is the time that 10:10 is it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 10, 10, 10.
10, 10.
10, 10.
Oh, जाएगा. हाँ योगेश जी, any question?
No, sir.
आप योगेश जी हमारे ग्रुप लीडर हो, आप हमारी सबकी तरफ से फीडबैक दो.
The real feedback should come from the देश के रखवाले. सूरी सर and मुदमल सर. ये देश के रखवाले हैं.
Sir, any time frame to read this, what you told, sir?
How much time can you give to it? Give that much time.
Okay.
Hey, you see, I'll tell you one thing. Blue Ocean strategy takes from 150, not one or two, 150 theories and concepts. So if you read, if you master Blue Ocean strategy, it is a given that you will have a firm grip on all these 150. Now, in this 150, many things will be relevant at different stages of our, project requirement. When I use the word project, I don't mean it as a project. I mean that anything that we are doing, different things will be relevant at different times. Your success is going to depend upon your ability to know when what is going to be important. And
Ranjit?
as you keep someone was telling something. Yeah, tell me.
Habib, how about this mindset cognitive block where
Thing is breaking. Who is speaking?
Habib, Priyan.
Tell me.
Habib, how
Network
about the
problem.
mindset
Yeah.
where
So hold it.
where it-
No, is internet issue, seems network issue. Bandwidth maybe. You are in muted now.
You're muted. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
how about the mindset?
He's talking about the mindset, sir.
Yeah.
You put in chat box, sir. Better chat box. You can type it message chat box. Use the chat. Sir, Arun sir, my question. Hanmantra here.
Tell me.
Generally, you also told very systematic approach. What you told, hurdles, identification, and how to implement strategy. I've seen some companies, sir, they won't do anything. Just they will ad hoc manner. Still, they success some projects. They will run the business. I've seen many companies. This practice is ad hoc manner, but still they are running the business. Something is going on. But this systematic approach I not seen.
I'll tell you why. Have you ever heard of the statement, the blind leading the blind?
Statement is
Right.
See, you also don't know, the person who has come to you also doesn't know. When he doesn't know, how will he know what you are doing is not the right thing?
But still it is working now, sir. Their success also that told.
And now the
Companies are
question-
in the profit 10%, 15% profit is also running.
The
Most of the
question
companies.
is, I'll ask you a simple question. You know, there is this story of a man calling his daughter, presenting her with a car for birthday. The daughter is very disappointed. She says, Dad, you have given this car to me. It's so old and it doesn't work. You know, it's such a, dinosaur time car. Why did you give this to me? You could have given me something better. He says, okay, Betty, I will give you whatever you want. You tell me what you want, I will give it to you. But before I do that, I want you to do a small thing. Says what? Says, go to this kabadiwala, the scrap dealer, and ask him how much money he will give for this car.
Yes, yes.
She goes to the kabadiwala, the scrap dealer, and asks him. He says, today this a tin cost and is only about 5 rupees per kilo. I'm ready to give you about 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees for this kabadi. She comes back and says that the maximum he will give is 1,000 rupees. He says, yeah. I thought, that fellow is very generous. He's a nice guy, a generous guy, because this will not even be 1,000 rupees if he is converted into scrap. Do one thing, you go to that second-hand car dealer. She goes to the second-hand car dealer and asks him. He says, see, this car, I will have to repair it and make it, tune it and change the spare parts and other things and sell it. And I will not be able to sell it for more than 60, 70,000. But I will have to also, for all my labor and everything, spend money and make a profit out of it. So maybe, I can give you 10,000 rupees for it. She's very surprised. That kabadi fellow gave only 1,000, giving me 10,000. She comes back.
Value increase. Yeah.
Give me 10,000. He said, cha, great. So you see, the value of the product has suddenly become more. You thought it is nothing, and even I thought it is nothing, but it is more. Okay, do one thing. There is a vintage car rally coming.
Vintage car, vintage.
Prince of Rajkot, who is buying vintage car, can you just go and ask him how much he will give? She goes to that guy.
Maybe lakhs, maybe some.
Look at this guy, says, oh my God. This is the first Rolls Royce model which came out in 18 something. In 19 something. I will give you 1 crore rupees for this. You just give it to me. You forget everything. Here it is. Take. She says, no, I will not give. He comes and says, Dad, that guy is giving me 1 crore. So he says, you see, what you get depends upon where you go. You said, no? Still they make profit of 10,000 rupees. They went to a blind man. One blind man went to another blind and got advised by the blind and made 10,000. Remember, just think if this guy had gone to a man with eyes who understands what he would have made. Now you tell me, is that business successful or a failure?
Yeah, understood, sir. We are not making use of the full effectiveness, efficiency, what we have, resources. Resources we have plenty, but we're not able to utilize very effectively.
What are you satisfied with? Look, God has given 2 hands. You can scoop a handful of horse shit, or you can scoop a handful of diamonds. Which one do you want? This hand will scoop both.
Decision is ours.
Yeah, this question is yours. You can scoop a handful of cow dung and complain, look, my hand is full of cow dung. Or you can scoop a handful of diamonds and marvel that your hand could scoop a handful of diamonds. Choice is yours. You can say, I went to that guy and still I'm profiting. Good. That means what? Your horoscope is good. You will not hit the streets. You see, look as a goat, as a person tied to a stick which is buried in the ground with a 1 kilometer rope. What does it mean? It means for that 1 kilometer radius, this man can move all around that state. Doesn't it mean that?
Yes.
Now, in that 1 kilometer radius area, God has kept all sorts of things. Good, bad, ugly, marvelous, genius, everything is there. He has provided you with everything. You know, maybe there is $10 billion in one place, there is 10 rupees in one place. That means what? In this 1 kilometer radius, $10 billion is also there, 10 rupees is also there. But you will have to move to that $10 billion and take it. It will not come to you. Are you ready? Or you are going to take 10 rupees and say, I'm fine with 10 rupees. Good. In that direction, why bother? So you see,
Yogaji sir, no sir. Actually, the certification sir is doing, no ISO certification. Actually, management does not know what is taste of the standard. Their certification is like hanging on the walls. Most of the people, companies are using that purpose. Really, if you implement, no, I think so much. What is the benefit? What profits we can get? What's Yogaji? Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. So right.
So much potential is there in the standard, but we are not able to utilize fully effective. Top management also not appreciating that much.
I will not blame only the top management. I will also blame the consultant providing the certificate. Did he tell them how valuable it is?
Yeah.
Is it not his?
Yeah, that is also there.
Every child comes into this world with huge potential. Did the parents create the environment and the opportunity for it to grow?
Yeah.
If the consultant has explained to them, yeah, it is going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult, but then no one said it will be easy.
Some are doing, sir. I've seen some consultants getting every day 1 lakh also. I've seen per day they are paying 1 lakh consultant fees. Some are doing like that. You're right.
They have got the confidence. They are ready with the material.
Correct.
See, Apple was always falling. It is not as if only on the day Newton saw Apple fell.
Yeah.
Apple was always falling.
Many people seen.
Billions and billions and billions of people saw Apple fall. Why is it that only that intelligent fellow idiot thought, why is it falling? And if he had not come up with a correct answer, imagine what an idiot he would have been called. See, this is what happens, when you ask such stupid questions. The world would have told
challenging the status quo, some different innovation, thinking differently.
You see, I tell you, there is this great saying: as you sow, so you reap. What are you? There is this Hindi saying, बीज बोया बबूर का तो आम थोड़े ना होगा, बबूर ही ना होगा वहां. आम चाहिए तो बीज आम का बो. What is it you are sowing? How much do you want to learn? How much do you want to grow? How much do you want to put effort? If you are ready to put the effort, the result will be there for you. That is the law of nature. That is the law of reciprocity. Input will only decide the output. What is your... What do you want to... You can spend this time watching Pakistan UAE match, or you can spend the time learning. What do you want to do? Okay, friends.
Thank you.
The next one will be on, resource. What do you call it?
Constraint. Hurdle.
Resource hurdle. And I will put the dates. I'll let you know. In the meantime, on 20th, we have got another session on inspiring people.
Mhm.
Again, at the end of the session, Yogesh ji will ask, "Khatam hua ki abhi bhi kuch baki hai?" Yeah.
दिमाग से ऊपर जा रहा है।
Good night.
Manta
and
ji.
your
Good night,
feedback.
sir.
Good night, sir.
Good.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.